beloved Black people. Welcome back to the plight and struggle of Black people in America. As usual, when we do have guests, we always have very interesting guests. And I'm sure this is the first time ever that we have a repeat back-to-back guest. I guess he was so strong and so powerful last time, we just had to have him back, right? Hey, what can I say? Some people got it like that. Hey,
Hey, sir.
how you doing, my man?
I'm hanging in there, just doing my best.
Well, it
Appreciate
look,
you getting back on.
well, it looked more like you're hanging out there. Well, it looked to me.
I am. I'm outside.
Yeah. So, we had talked about some things on your last visit, and you mentioned something about survival out
Yes, sir.
there in the wilderness and all sorts of things.
Mm-hmm.
So I think you're going to show the people some things.
Yes, sir. I do plan to. Hopefully, it's interesting to your audience, and they'll learn something from just a little bit of information that over time I've gained. And I'm, as always, I'm a student, always learning. Learn
Right,
from
right.
you, or learn from so many that are knowledgeable about various areas. This just happened to be an area of interest of mine that that I've pursued for a while now, and continuing to pursue the information
Now,
because
when you say this is an interest of mine, what this are you referring to?
this that I'm referring to are wild edibles,
Okay,
survival food,
okay,
foods that you not necessarily can go to the store and pick up, but has um, as much and much more nutrition and and vital essential elements for our bodies to not just function but thrive.
okay, absolutely.
Yes, sir.
Same way we
So
need Black people to do, thrive rather than merely survive.
thrive rather than merely survive. That's
Absolutely.
very,
And
very,
guess what?
very
Black people united, that will happen.
absolutely it will. And us passing information uh, mainly to our youth so that they will gain this knowledge, research the information, especially when we're dealing with wild edibles.
Right,
Please
right.
do research the information because not all of our bodies are the same as far as allergies and different things. So everything that I show you today, bear researching. I've researched it. I know that it doesn't harm my body. It's good for me. It helps me. But each individual is different. So please don't ever take advice from one individual and as gospel. Research it for yourself. There's a lot of sources out there. There are a lot of wild edible YouTube videos out there. There's a lot of books on it. So please do that.
Good advice.
I'll start if you want, Lenny. I'll start showing the different things that I just walk out in the yard and eat on a daily basis.
Yeah, and as you uh, walk and show them, you'll be able to name them. I suspect.
Absolutely, I will name them.
Okay.
We'll start with some cumin ragweed.
Mm,
This particular weed, and as you notice, I've got lots and lots of it. That's
right.
that's growing. Um, this is a superfood. I mean, it really is. It was once cultivated by the natives here um, for its seeds to make medicines, and it was milled. Um, Once it reaches its maturity, they actually mill it and turn it into flour.
You said it's ragweed.
Ragweed, which
Okay.
most people a lot of people view this as, oh my God, I want to stay away from this ragweed because it makes me sick. It makes me sneeze. I walk out through this stuff all of the time and never sneeze because I eat it. I think because I eat it, I ingest it, and so it builds an immune to being sick from it. This is what the plant looks like. Can you see it? Okay.
I can see it somewhat.
Some.
Yeah, not in detail per se.
And and go over here in the shade.
Okay, your voice went away. I can't hear you as well for some reason.
It's difficult to see.
Your voice is too low. I can't hear you very.
That any better?
It's back. Okay. Go ahead.
Okay.
Okay, it's back.
This is cumin ragweed.
Okay.
This weed will produce oil for cooking. The seeds will.
Okay.
The leaves, as you can see, they're shaped. They're a little bit fuzzy under the bottom. But take a look at the shape, because identifying wild edibles is one of the most important things you can do. Is identify, because if you can't identify it, then you don't know what you're putting in your body.
Right, right.
So you want to make sure that you can identify this weed. It has identifying features about it. It looks like it comes to a tip, like tip of a spear. It's rough on the back. It's a little bit rough. So eating it raw is sometimes a little bit difficult to digest, because our system is not used to eating raw vegetables anymore. But of course, you know me, I do. Good for you. Very good.
I didn't see that coming. I didn't see that coming.
Also,
what does it taste like?
My pigs, you know, those people that believe in eating pork or what have you. Hopefully, this won't gross them out to see a pig. You know, we've been eating pig for centuries.
Some people still do.
I'm one of those people, but I want to show you it's not necessary. I just gathered a handful of it.
Right.
I'm going to put it in here with my pigs.
That's the ragweed.
Yeah, this is the ragweed.
Okay.
And I've got so much of it that I can once I pull it with its seeds, I pull it, it'll grow back again. Right. I'm going to put it in here with the pigs and just see if they're going to eat it.
Well, I heard they'll eat anything. What I heard.
Well, contrary to popular belief, pigs will not eat anything.
Is that right? What is it? What is it that they won't eat?
Well, there are a number of plants out there that a pig won't eat because it's poisonous. It's not good for their system. It's not something that's going to benefit them. So they won't. But you notice how they're eating that ragweed?
Yeah. So you're saying that other plant that they don't like, that will hurt them, they can tell that will hurt them, and then that's why they don't eat it?
They know right away. They can walk up to a plant, smell of it, and walk away from it if it's something that's not edible to them.
So they got it built in. We have to learn it, right?
We have to learn it. Once upon a time, we had it built in. When we understood the.
I like that. I feel that.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. We had it built in. I like that.
We had it built in, you know, and it was knowledge that we've passed on for generations back in the old country, you know, back when we were in the motherland. This is information passed to our kids. It wasn't necessarily put in a book because not everybody learned from reading a book. Not everybody
could read. But let me ask you this. What else do you feed those hogs besides ragweed?
Well, I feed them corn.
Okay.
I feed them some all stock.
You said all stock?
All stock. Mm-hmm.
What is that?
It's a feed that you buy at Tractor Supply that that's got a bunch of things in it. But
Like things like what's in it?
well, it has corn in it, it has soy in it, it has molasses
Hmm.
uh, in it, and several other grains.
So basically, you saying those hogs get fed food that's actually good for them and good for us too?
That's right. And
Okay, that's just your hogs, not all hogs, right?
that's not all hogs. Exactly, Lenny. That's the point. People say, I mean, I've heard many people refer to, oh, pigs, the stuff it's all about what the animal eat.
Okay.
My beef here is what we eat.
Hmm.
Okay. My beef is grain fed, it's grass fed beef. Very little grain,
Hmm.
but it's grass fed beef because you have to be careful about the grains because they've got so much stuff in the grains. I mean, and I'm talking to kids as well. So this is just stuff that they need to know that will that will benefit them if they ever decide to raise a hog or have a cow. You don't, if you're on a farm, you don't have to buy feed. If it gets to a point, and we're talking about survival, if it gets to a point where I cannot go to the store because it could get to where the stores are closed,
Hmm.
things are catastrophic, survival is imminent, right in place where you are.
Right, right.
So it's necessary to know these items, gather them, preserve them, keep them in your home, canned goods, and all of that good stuff as well.
Hmm. Okay.
Okay, we're gonna go over here, and I bet you, I don't know, but I bet you, because I'm one of the people that didn't know this before I started on this journey of researching wild edibles.
Mm.
I didn't know that grass was edible to humans.
With nutrition.
That is full of nutrition.
Okay.
Grass that's not, now you have to make sure that the grass hasn't been sprayed with chemicals and pesticides and herbicides and all of that type stuff. So if it's good, clean grass in a
Like on
survival
your farm,
situation,
you talking about the grass like on your farm?
yes, sir. Like the
Okay.
grass that's on my farm.
Right, right.
Um, that it's grass that's very necessary.
Mm.
I'm going to show you a purple nut sedge.
What is a nut sedge? What is that?
A purple nut sedge grass.
Okay,
This is,
grass we talking about.
yeah, we're talking about an actual grass that
Okay.
grows that I don't have to cultivate. I didn't plant any of this. It just
Right.
comes up, by itself. And the most usually with a grass, you try and reach down and pull the root up, and it's hard to do sometimes.
Hmm.
Okay, so you notice I pulled that root up,
Okay.
and I'm gonna try to. And me and cameras are sometimes it's a little bit difficult, but I'm gonna sit the camera down,
Okay.
and then I'm gonna show. Okay, so I'm gonna peel back. Of course, the whole thing is edible. You can cook this in, boil it and eat it just like normal.
So does that mean you can't eat every type of grass? I'm talking about. We know we can't have the chemicals, but I mean, does every type of grass have nutrition?
All grasses have nutrition,
Okay.
but there are some grasses that you can't eat at certain times.
What do you mean by certain times?
Yeah, such as once it's been mowed. If
Okay.
you
Okay.
mow grass, it produces a methane and a poison that, especially Johnson, that you can't consume it. You're not supposed to consume it, but there's no need to mow it if you plan to eat it.
That's correct. Mm-hmm.
So I'm separating this out, and if you notice, it's getting lighter and lighter.
Right. Look like an onion almost.
Yeah, it starts to look like an onion almost. When you
Mm-hmm.
get out to that part of that grass, that's when it's
That's when you decide to eat.
most
Or
delicious.
you full of, what do you mean delicious? What it taste like?
Well, I tell you what, it has a little bit of a. It doesn't have much of a taste to it,
Okay.
but
Kind of like
to
mushroom.
me, it would be delicious because I eat this stuff all of the time.
So you mentally give it a flavor, huh?
I mentally give it a flavor because I know that
Amen.
it's good for me, and I can taste the nutrients in that grass.
So what do
Another weed,
nutrients taste like?
the nutrients, it tastes like
You
it's
funny.
giving me energy.
Okay.
When I
Okay.
wake up sometime and I'm a bit sluggish and don't feel like getting out of bed, and I stumble out here,
Eat you some grass, huh?
and my son, I eat some grass just like my
Hey,
cows
yo, man, what? They eat some grass.
because my cattle
You're so funny.
and my pigs and my goats, all of them eat this stuff. They
Yeah.
produce meat for us. That's why
Mm.
I say that their meat is not good for us. It's not true,
Okay.
in my opinion, because it depends on what they eat.
Right, but I never heard. Wait a minute, did you say meat? Because I thought you just said meat, not
Meat,
just
meat,
pig. Right,
meat.
but
Uh-huh.
I've never heard that meat precisely is not good for us. I heard that beyond moderation is not good for us. Is what I heard.
Well, I totally agree with your assessment of eating meat within moderation is not
Right,
good because eating meat is something that we've done for centuries,
right.
and but all of a sudden we've got people, and I'm not knocking anyone that chooses to eat vegetables only because there's plenty of nutrition in vegetables, and
Right,
and
right.
and especially more so in wild edibles than
Okay.
than even stuff out of the store. Uh, many things that you buy out of the store, the nutrients have been depleted because of the soil depletion.
Mm,
So what you're
okay.
getting out here is not the same as what you're buying in there. It might look similar, but it's not, because what you're looking for when you eat a vegetable, in most people's mind, I bet, especially in my mind, I'm looking for nutrients.
Absolutely.
Something, vitalize my body and what have you. Well, it ain't there
But
for
they
the
want
most.
taste also.
And they want taste also.
Yes.
That's true. Okay, here we have what we call a silverleaf nightshade. This is a nightshade.
And is
Notice
that what is it? Just a flower or is it a grass?
it's considered a weed. They
Okay.
call it regular name for it, or common name for it, is the goat weed. Call it goat.
Okay. Is that because
But
goats like to eat it?
because goats love it. I mean, my
Okay.
goats go through here and they devour it. I mean, they just keep going. And the animal knows what to eat and what not to eat. They can walk up and smell it, including my goats, including the
Right.
cow, and if it's something bad, they won't eat. You notice how these leaves are shaped.
Right.
Learning a plant has a lot to do with learning the shape of the leaves, learning how the plant grows from its stem, learning how the stem, how hairy it is, whether it's hairy, whether it's not, whether it has thorns, whether it doesn't.
Right.
And most of this stuff, of course, you have to find something. Some people are like, well, I like to find things out here that the cows haven't peed on, or but you know what? That doesn't bother me, and I've been around here for a very long time.
You say don't bother you that you're eating cow pee.
Doesn't bother me.
Say that's the sauce. I'm just saying.
No, I just bit this nightshade off, and It tastes nutty. Tastes woody.
What
It's
do you
not
mean
a
by?
good tasting.
Okay, okay.
It's
So,
not a good taste, but the nutrients in it will help you survive.
okay, and that
So
makes you
you
like
treat
the
it.
taste because you know it's
Yeah.
good for you.
But what you do with this, you boil it and you add herbs and different. I mean, different ingredients
Seasonings,
and different things.
seasonings, that type of thing.
Seasonings, yes, sir.
Okay,
Seasonings.
okay.
Um, you can add it with in soups. You can add it with,
Oh man, you so bad.
you know,
Well,
you
well, at least you
so
know what you can and can't eat. That's right there for you for free, right?
that's right here for me for free
Yeah,
and
yeah,
more nutritious than what I can buy at the store.
for
Absolutely.
sure, absolutely, no doubt about that. But that's interesting. Something you said about the food at the store won't be as good because of the soil that it comes from.
Because of the soil. If food, I'm going to show you something here that this soil hasn't been tampered with as
Hmm.
far as fertilizer and any of that stuff. So everything that it produces is purely natural.
Right, right.
Uh, like I say, that nightshade that's kind of woody, you know, not good to the taste. But once it's prepared, it's okay. This
Okay,
right here
okay.
is compost.
Compost. What are you talking about?
That's a compost pile.
Did you say
And
pie?
compost.
Compost what?
Compost pile. This is my
Oh,
compost.
pie. Okay. I thought you called it a pie. Like you was going to eat a chunk or something. I read that. Oh,
No,
my
no, sir.
goodness.
I'm not gonna eat that. But I
Okay.
want to show you. I want to show you. Now, this has been sitting here. It's been rained on. I've got all kinds of stuff in here. I've got cow poop and goat poop and chicken poop and all kind of vegetables and different. When I rake leaves or what have you, I throw all of that in there. And, I
Mhm.
mean, it's all kinds of stuff that's in here,
Right.
and it cooks over time. The earth will cook it. The sun will cook it. The rain provides water to help it cook like you would any other food.
Hmm.
So it's digested by the earth. So I want to show you something. This compost here has been broken down. I'm just going to get a little scrape area here.
Hmm.
Now you notice, if you notice how dark and beautiful this soil is. It's
Okay.
already turned to soil and it's soft. It's not compacted. It's hard to even compact it,
So you
but it's
said it turned into soil. Okay, a
it,
person like me, I see a pile of dirt. So you make it sound like there's a difference between dirt and soil.
no, actually, soil and dirt would be the same. It's
Okay.
just something. It's how I refer to it as
Okay.
soil, but dirt,
Okay. Okay.
you know.
Okay.
But it's actually compost. It's composted dirt. It's composted materials
That you help create.
that I help create because uh, the things that I put in here over time, it's perfect for growing plants. So if you're gonna grow a garden, the best thing to do is start your little compost pile and then use that compost, which you can throw vegetables in there. You can, I mean, even compost, I tell you the truth, some people don't believe, but you can throw meat inside of a compost, old meat that you don't want, and it will compost it if you have a large enough area. Of course, this is depending on if you have a large enough area. I'm digging
So
up some stuff here.
now I keep hearing you say that word compost, so you make it sound like it's a procedure, but I'm not thoroughly getting it. You know,
Okay,
yeah, what is that?
it is um it is a natural fertilizer from animal poop
Okay.
and from other microorganisms. It builds it
So
breaks everything down
are you
to
saying that that pile is more poop than anything else?
well, it's poop, it's grass, it's weed,
But is it
it
more poop than anything else?
it's predominantly poop.
That's
Yes, sir.
what, that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is
It
interesting
is.
because I know nothing about this stuff.
Yeah, and it's so much, you know. I mean, our segment. I'm only going to go over like 5 plants,
Okay.
um,
Okay.
and 2 we've already covered 2 of them because of due to time. But
Okay.
um, now this tree is called a bodark tree.
What does that mean?
It's a tree that it's said that once natives used to use its limbs because of its elasticity. They
Mm.
would use the limbs from it to make bows because it
Yeah.
bends. I
Right.
mean,
Right.
this tree, it can bend and bend and bend and never break. You can
Okay.
bend its limb, get in the right spot, and you can bend it down, and it has a elasticity to it that's so different from regular limb trees.
Right. Right.
It can bow. Um, it produces a horse apple, what we call a horse apple.
Whatever that is.
Yeah, and I really wanted to have one over here,
Mhm.
but I couldn't find any in the immediate area. But they do produce that. It's produced from a bodark tree.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
This is a hackberry tree. I don't know if I showed this the last time. I think
No,
I
but you
showed
talked
you.
about it. That's one of your favorites. You like the hackberry seeds.
Oh, I love these hackberry pods. I tell you what, they are absolutely absolutely, and they're sweet.
We didn't get to see it. Can you hold one in your hand when we can see it?
Okay, yes, sir. Now this one, these are still a little bit green,
Okay.
but when they dry out,
What colors do they turn when they dry out?
they turn red. This is
Okay,
still
okay,
green,
okay.
but they turn red.
So
Full of
there's
nutrition.
is there a seed inside of that seed?
There's a seed inside of the seed. This is
Okay,
a small pod, and
okay.
you notice me cracking and chewing on it.
Yeah, like you really like it.
Yeah, the goats will eat it. They love these leaves. The pigs, if I threw a hackberry leaf in there, oh my, they'd fight over it.
Boy,
They would fight over it.
how you know
So,
about that? You must have did it before. How you know they love it so much?
well, I'm gonna give an example of it. I'm gonna take and break a hackberry limb
Okay,
off.
so you've obviously seen that before. So, okay, most of your experience come from doing it actually, right? When you're growing up.
Doing
Yeah.
it as since I've owned my homestead.
How
Doing
long
it.
has that been?
That's been since 1996.
Right, but you didn't start out with 300 acres though.
No, I didn't. I started out with 204 acres,
Okay.
and over time just accumulated
Well,
more. And my brother is in here with me too. So
that 200
so
acres was a pretty good start, I'd say.
yes, sir. So just watch how these
Look at
animals.
him. He can't even wait till you get it there. He's
He,
trying to
he can't
bogart.
he can't even wait. I mean, he
Yeah,
wants
because
to
he
take
know
it.
what it is. He say, "Oh no, you ain't getting that hackberry. I'm getting that."
I'm getting that hackberry. Even the babies are saying like, no, we
Yeah,
want that. We want that.
yeah, yeah. They waited for you to throw the ragweed, but they didn't wait for you to throw that hackberry. Boy, they
No,
must have smelled it evidently.
they will go over the fence for
Oh
that
my goodness,
hackberry. I guarantee you,
that is so interesting. I ain't kidding.
man. That tastes is so good. I'm gonna have me another one.
See, that's
I
why
miss.
I want children to see all this stuff because, okay, you take me. This ain't my thing, living out and all that, dealing with all that. But I'm sure there's some youngsters that would love to know and be a part of this type of life. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
absolutely.
Yeah.
They
So that would be great for them.
are. And the only reason they're not familiar with it right now is because they weren't raised doing it for the most part. They
Mm.
weren't introduced to it. But once you introduce stuff like this to young people, they don't ever forget.
No, they won't forget, but some of them will embrace it. But
They
if they
will
like
embrace it.
me, they won't because I'm like city. I'm straight city, and I don't even like the bugs, the spiders, the snakes, all that. I say Dallas, Texas is a country town with a city twist. That's what I say. But
Right.
I'm not good being a country fella. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I understand that, but even if being in the country and that type stuff is not your thing, and I'm going to get away from these pigs here in just a minute.
You good? But for me now, I like something like that to visit. Yeah, I love seeing things I've never seen and all of that. But I wouldn't want to live it. But yeah, I love to visit things and learn things and that type
And
of thing.
the beauty of this, Lenny, is that you don't have to be on a farm to find wild edibles. They're around you. You walk out into your front yard, there's a wild edible.
Okay.
People starved to death back in the 30s during the Depression. Here's a wild green. I want to show this. That's a wild green. That's a dock.
Now, you say wild green, you mean when people say, go get me some greens, like collard greens and stuff like that?
That's right. That's right. But that's a dock.
A dock green?
This is the dock. This is called a broadleaf dock. When it grows
how you
up.
spelling dock? D-O-C?
D-O-C-K.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And so what I'm doing right now is kind of wiping it off just in case it's got some cow pee on it or something,
Because you're ready to eat it.
I'm going to wipe it off because I'm getting ready to eat it.
What was that you just ate?
That's a dock, broadleaf dock. It's a baby one.
Oh, that's just a flower?
No, it's a green. It's a wild
green. Yeah, you said it's a green. And that's a green. Greens are food, right?
Greens are food. It's just like when you go to the store, but you can't go in the store and buy docks.
So did you have to plant those or they just popped up?
They just grow naturally. Look, they're all over.
So the earth been providing food the whole time, evidently.
Yeah, look at all these greens. I don't have to go to the store to buy greens. I mean, they're right here. I didn't have to cultivate them.
The average person wouldn't even know those are greens. I know I wouldn't have known.
No, you wouldn't. And we would walk right across these. And if we couldn't find food elsewhere that we're familiar with, people starve to death. And there's food all around us.
Right. Wow.
So that was a wild green. When I walk out through here, I know this food, so I see it.
Right.
Just on sight. And that's how you have to learn it. You got to learn it by sight. When you see it, you recognize it. That's how you know. That's how you benefit from wild edibles.
A lot of them young people, man, they learn so well, so fast, and you get them in the environment that they appreciate and enjoy. Man, they're like sponges. They soak all that information up that you have.
Oh, Lenny, I mean, those are the ones we want. I would love to have a tour of those young people out here to teach them how to set up a camp. A lot of them don't even know. I mean, in a bug out situation where you've got to bug out, things are going crazy around you. And you've got to get out, which the safest place during that time is your home. Home defense is essential, but that's a different topic for a different program. But but this food is everywhere. So you grab your couple utensils, and one of these days I'm going to show you how to build a little rocket stove on one of our programs, and how to build it from bricks, how to build it from a can. All of this stuff is on YouTube. I mean, we can look this stuff up. Anyone can.
Well, check this out. If we put a field trip together for some youngsters from Dallas, let's say.
Yes, sir.
For you to get a significant experience for them, what time we need to show up and stay until for them to get a big piece of something out of it without having to stay overnight?
I'd say as early as possible so that we can make a day of it.
Okay, but what is that early as possible? I mean,
I'd say around, have them here about 7 o'clock.
Okay, that ain't too bad.
About 7. And that gives us time to go out and cook up some wild edibles find them, identify them,
Mhm.
cook them up, and then I'll feed them some of this good food that's here,
Yeah,
and
you talking about as fresh as it gets, right?
as fresh as it gets. It's right here. This is
No
as fresh
fresh.
as it gets.
I tell you what, man, I'm not really sure what impact that would have on me because I've heard people say them things about seeing it walking and you seeing it there on the plate. But I had experience one time decades ago. I was a youngster. I wasn't even grown yet. I
Mm-hmm.
was around some adults that had some live crabs, and they cooked them, put them in the water. So seeing them moving and then seeing them ready for food, I couldn't eat it.
You couldn't eat it.
I couldn't eat it because I'm like, I just saw that rascal crawling. I couldn't eat it. Yeah, look at that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. This is, and you know the thing about chicken,
What?
and most animals, they don't, they really don't need us. We need them.
Well, except for these uh, pets, these puppy dogs that these people have as pets at the house, they need a whole lot of help. They like little babies, look like.
Yeah, because their natural state has been altered. That's the only reason. That's the only reason they need us is
Yeah,
because
yeah.
their natural state have been altered, and if it's altered, then they've been trained to
Shoot,
depend on
shoot. You
us.
say Austin? How about it been taken away from them?
Totally taken away.
Totally,
Absolutely.
you ain't kidding, boy. Goodness, good. But yeah, so that just shows so much how animals and of all kinds they have this instinct built into them that they ready for the world, literally.
They're ready for the world when they're born. Yeah,
Yeah.
our baby calf.
Uh-huh.
When it's born, it automatically knows how to suck its mother. The
Okay.
sucking on the udders. They are. No one has to teach them that.
So they
They
can suck on her before he can walk, basically.
basically before he can. I mean, when he gets up enough strength to get up and walk,
Uh-huh.
then that's when he can stand up, he or she, and and suck on the udders to
How
get the
long?
milk
Oh, so he won't get the milk until he can stand up.
until he can stand up. And mommy is
Okay.
going to continue to pry and nudge him and him or
Try to
her
get him up. Right, right.
to get him up because that colostrum is very necessary in an animal within the first 24 hours, um, 12 hours, really, but
What is
24
that
hours
that you
because
call that? That's so important.
the
Colostrum.
colostrum,
What is that?
it's a nutrition that they have to have. It's their food. They have to
Mm-hmm.
have that to start building strength for them to walk and function. It's
Mm-hmm.
colostrum.
Okay. Do humans have colostrum?
Uh, it's something similar in mother's milk. I'm not
Okay,
sure if
okay.
it's called colostrum, but in mother's milk, it exists. Yes.
Okay, okay. That gives yet some clarity that I didn't have. At least I know you're talking about the milk part and this and that. Sometimes
Yes.
I'm a little slow, but this is real interesting for me though, for sure. Yeah.
Oh, look what I found. Look what I found. And now this is absolutely delicious. Most people say uh, that mushrooms are poisonous and all of that type stuff.
Okay. I didn't know they don't
That
have much flavor, it seemed like to me.
no, they don't unless they're cooked right. But this is a shaggy mane.
Shaggy mane mushroom?
A shaggy mane. It's in the fungi. There's lots of different fungi.
So that means
Fungi.
they got different types of mushrooms.
Right, different types of mushroom,
Hmm.
but they're all in the fungi family. And this is in the Agricus family, which are a family of mushrooms. I want to find another one to show you.
Do you eat
That's
them?
yes, but the thing about a mushroom, at least the shaggy mane, they grow wild right here in my yard. But I just go out, I gather one in the morning. You have to cook it within the 2 hours of picking it, so you
Okay.
can't put it in the refrigerator and all that because it sort of melts. It starts turning black, and you can't eat it at that point.
Right, right.
But you go out there and you get one, and you take it in the house, wash it off, chop it up, put it in your eggs,
Mm-hmm.
and
Oh,
season your eggs and what have you.
chop it up raw. Okay, you don't have to cook it. You just do it raw.
Yeah, you just do it I think I broke an egg in my pocket. I just put my eggs in my pocket, but I think I broke one.
Chicken egg.
Chicken egg, yeah.
Boy, you something. He broke one in his pocket. That's funny. You must have put one too many in there then.
Yeah, I've got a pocket full of them. I'm taking them
Oh
to the
my
house.
goodness. Boy, you something, man. Oops. Oh, that's something, man.
There was another plant over here that I wanted to show you. It's right here at my back step.
Okay.
It's called a Carolina mallow. This one grows right here.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it grows all over the place, but they're very nutritional. Notice how they're shaped.
Yeah, I see that funny shape.
It's got a little shape to it. And learning the shapes and how things are built is, and I'm probably not showing very well, but you can look those up online and see them.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And you said if we show up at 7:30, how long would be good to stay until?
Until it's time to get them back. You know,
Right. What
whatever
time? Yeah, I mean, but what would we want to have set up for? 7:30 to what? Before dark?
I'd say at noon we eat.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so we'll do a field trip from 7 to about noon. We'll come in here and we'll eat at noon, and do a little bit more stuff until about 3, and probably at 3 o'clock they can start
heading back. Yeah.
heading back.
So it'll be all daylight once we get started. It'll probably be still dark at 7 and even on the way there. But yeah, by the time we wrap it up, we'll still have daylight and all that good stuff.
Yeah, you still have daylight.
So
Absolutely.
what do you think would be an ideal number for you to be able to handle comfortably?
I'd say no more than 10.
Okay, that sounds like a good number.
Because they'll start to play. You know how kids are, and holding their attention, holding kids' attention. You've got to be. It takes you know, us as parents, we kind of know, but capturing their attention so that they will learn.
Right.
So they're going to consider the field trip as something different from them. They're going to want to play and do different things, and that's how they learn. That's a learning technique for kids.
Okay.
So it's okay for them to have fun. We want them to enjoy it, but learn something at the same time. And at the end of the day, we'll test them to see who retained what information.
See, and since we talking about groups of 10, we can have several visits.
Yes, sir. We can have several visits.
Absolutely. So yeah, that's what's up. That's what's up. So yeah, I appreciate you again.
Yes, sir.
Usual. Always appreciate you, and you do what you do, man. Just keep being that black cowboy / farmer.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I'm here for my people. Absolutely.
Yeah, you make me think of this one documentary that I have called The Blacklist. And initially when I heard that title, somehow I thought of like Black Ball or whatever. But actually it ended up being a documentary of various black people that's just profound at their profession. They even had some profession I hadn't heard of. And I thought that was great. But you make me think of that because you're a fella in your profession and that's unique and all that good stuff. So yeah, you're on that blacklist, the black elite.
Well, thank you, sir. I'm honored. I'm honored to talk to my people and to be a part of our learning and our progression, because we want, there's no need to be hungry in a situation where people are miles trying to get a loaf of bread.
Right.
Especially when wild edibles and things are all around us. I mean, if it came down to it, worms are edible. There's so many things that are edible.
Down to it.
When it came down to it, worms are very nutritious.
Oh, my goodness.
And it might take a little bit of changing our mindset about
a whole lot of changing the mindset. It might be a couple people say, "I'll just starve."
I tell you what, a lot of times we will, and one of these days we're gonna do. If you're interested in how to take water and filtrate, um, preserve it. Oh, that's my wife. Hello. Oh, okay. I'm on YouTube. It's my wife.
Right,
Say,
right.
say hi.
Hey, y'all, what's happening? What you a man? Yeah, man. We could get those youngsters out there, and they could see so many things in person. Because I was out there. How many years ago was that? Like 15 years ago? Remember I was out there?
It's been
So
yeah.
I was impressed and amazed at seeing all those things. Like when I saw you had the different type of chickens, they were white with the red head, basically, and they were much bigger than those other chickens I noticed. That was just amazing just for me to see that. And I was an adult then, but I could just imagine some of these youngsters could really be excited and amazed at seeing some of this stuff themselves. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely, and they will learn, and that information is not just stuff to for them to know, but it's survival. I mean,
Absolutely.
They can go out there, get some grass out of the yard when there's nothing else to eat, take it in the house, boil it, put a little salt and pepper on it, and eat and survive.
Oh my goodness. I hear you, man. Well, keep up the great work, man, and we definitely gonna have you back many times.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your audience.
All right, thank you. You take care of yourself.
You too, my brother.
Black on black love. You know what I'm talking about?
Black love. Absolutely.